Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Pardon Our Picks, where perfection is a work in progress. I'm your host, Sam. Alongside me, as always, Tarik. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. It is the beginning of another football season, and we are ready to go.
Yes, it is. And of course, Brady, our frequent collaborator. How you doing today?
It's pretty good. I'm excited for football to kick off. So let's get it going.
Absolutely. Of course, our show is brought to you by Aardvark Concepts, where they are more than just a sign. And into deep of Maryland, catch their next show in Fells Point at the Waterfront Hotel on 9/17.
And of course, by viewers like you.
Absolutely.
And that's going to grow.
So last year we didn't get a chance to do our final video of the year, the Super Bowl predictions. However, I can safely say that Tarik did have it correct, and he was the winner of the playoffs overall. It is a new year, so we get into it as we do. Of course, as you can see, everything starts at zero.
Just says, ooh.
Okay.
What?
There's a message in my alphabets. It says, ooh.
You can tell the night this is going to be, can't you?
Yes.
It's going to be a great one, folks. Just stick around. Just wait.
We are giddy and excited to see you all. Thank you for coming back. And we are, of course, glad to be back. New location for me. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Like, people want football. Let's give them some football. Let's see who's first.
Football.
Brady. This is Brady's game of the week. Who you got?
I have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Carolina Panthers. Now, I know with a lot of high-profile matchups going on this week, this may not be everyone's first go-to for the one they're most excited about. But this is mine.
Anyone's go-to.
Anyone's but me, because I like the story within the football. And this is the first season that Cleveland will not have Baker Mayfield in the last 4 years as their starting quarterback. And we all know everything else that's gone on with her quarterback room this year, so I'm not going to get into that. But Baker Mayfield was traded to the Carolina Panthers and was named their starting quarterback for week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. That in itself is a story. But Cleveland itself, with their quarterback controversy, this is a story for them as well. Can they come out and play good football, fundamental football, with a worse wide receiver room than they started last year with, a worse quarterback? No offense to, I'm now forgetting his name.
The quarterback of the Cleveland Browns?
Yes.
Oh.
The current starting quarterback.
You don't know who that is?
He used to play for the Indianapolis Colts, Jacoby Brissett. No offense to Jacoby Brissett, but I do not think that he is not a Baker Mayfield type. So I think this is going to be a really interesting game. Cleveland's defense, I think, is still pretty good. I think Carolina's offense is even better with Baker Mayfield at the helm. So I expect this to be one of those Cleveland's defense makes one mistake and Carolina capitalizes. Can Christian McCaffrey have a healthy season? I think this is a start to prove the rest of the league that he can.
Nope.
I think this is going to be another year where he is a trendsetter on offense. And I have the Carolina Panthers taking this game by a touchdown.
All right. So I'll copy and paste some of this information from my game, but we'll save that for later. There seems to be a trend going. Hashtag trending, I guess. I don't know. I'm too old for hashtags and trending. But I'm going the opposite way of Brady. I'm going with Cleveland.
Whoa.
So too early to establish home field advantage. Don't know how everything's going to go. We got this big mix-up with different fans and everything else. My thing is, the Browns have shown to me with their pieces to be able to put stuff together more effectively than the Panthers. The Panthers have had weapons before in the past and not been able to execute them. So they got, I can't remember their old quarterback that went to
Sam
the Patriots.
Darnold.
that went to the Patriots.
Oh, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
So they had him for years, a good weapon. Didn't ever do much with him. I don't think they ever made the
Delicious
playoffs.
snack.
Huh?
And a delicious snack. I love fig Newtons.
Delicious. I don't have those. I have vanilla wafers upstairs. I don't have Newtons. Oh. But so with the piece and just the coaching staff and just even with some of the controversy and stuff going on, I'm going with Cleveland on this one.
Can you say hashtag Spandal? Because I can. That's right. Spa scandal.
Did you just merge words together?
Maybe I did. I'm getting trendy. Anyway.
We're in our late 30s, Sam. I don't think we can be all trendy.
I'll go there, dog. Okay. Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand.
Well, you're showing your age there.
It's fine. You've got me. I offset the age difference thing.
Let's see. Key points. Christian McCaffrey, a light breeze, is going to knock this guy out again this year. However, game one, he's still there. I think the Panthers actually started the season last year 3-0 with Darnold as their quarterback, and I think Mayfield is a big improvement from that. They have good receivers. They have a running back. They have a good line. Their defense is decent. Cleveland has essentially a backup quarterback. They have a new receiver, but they lost their old receiver. They got new Amari Cooper. That's right. I said Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. That's his new name going out. I'm writing that down so we use that every week.
Absolutely. But I think it's going to be a tough game with their defense. They're going to hold. I mean, it's going to be a rivalry game essentially for Mayfield. I think Carolina Panthers win this one handily, though. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. So, all right, let's move on to our next game.
Amari Cooper.
The next game is Tarik's. Tarik, what game did you have?
So my game of the week is the Broncos and the Seahawks. So a lot of people are going to be shocked that I put like Brady's face. He made a colon capital O. See, I can trend with emoticons too. So
sound effects.
Let me put my phone on silent because I'm an important person and I have notifications that go off at odd times. So similar story to Brady. The Broncos got Russell Wilson in the offseason and they're playing at the Seahawks. So this is going to be an interesting thing. I've seen a lot of buzz on the worldwide internets. Things have been going on. So I think this is going to be really interesting. A lot of expectations on the Broncos they've got some new coaching staff, new general manager. They've made some shuffles up front and they've moved some stuff around. They're hoping to finally have a quarterback since Peyton Manning. So, because they've just gone through draft pick after one veteran that didn't really do anything for 6 weeks, Joe Flacco. So I think with everything going on, I got Denver. I think they finally got some tools. I think they're finally getting some tread under their feet. They can finally start making some progress. Got a decent running back. They got some wide receivers healthy again. So we'll see what happens.
I'm going to agree with Tarik on this one. I think Denver is a team to look out for, even in their division being probably, in my opinion, the strongest division in the season, in the entire NFL. But this should be a pretty easy homecoming game, I think, for Russell Wilson. Seattle's in the middle of a rebuild. They still have two really good wide receivers, but I don't think they have a quarterback to get the ball to those receivers. And their defense really hasn't been the same since the Legion of Boom. So I expect Denver to make this a nice, welcome to the team for Russell Wilson and win this by at least 2 scores.
So there's really only one name you need to know in this game, and that's Geno Smith. Quite frankly, he's not on par caliber anywhere near what Russell Wilson was, and that team wasn't great with Russell last year. They have their issues. They've got good receivers. They still don't have a good running game. They don't have they don't have a good line. Their defense is old and they're just not able to compete. The Broncos have all of those things. They've got a new running back that's coming in this year, the draft pick. And of course, they still got Melvin Gordon. They've got good receivers in Cortland Sutton. And of course, they now have somebody that can actually throw them the ball. So I think it's Denver. I think this is going to be a blowout. It's going to be a laugher on Monday Night Football. You guys can go to bed early after watching them go up 21 points before the half. So that's what I got.
All
All right,
right.
let's move on to the next game. And I believe it's my game of the week, which was the Raiders
Ooh.
at the Chargers.
Brady,
Now,
speaking of the division.
the reason I picked this game, the Raiders picked up a huge receiving threat in Devontae Adams this year. And I think that's going to be a big boon to Derek Carr and the Vegas Raiders. And on the opposite side, the Chargers picked up quite a few people for defense. So I think this is going to be a very interesting game. It's a rock meets a hard place, immovable object meets a unstoppable force type thing. I think this is going to be a very exciting game. This, to me, is the most exciting game this week. I cannot remember who I picked in this game.
You just picked him like 5 minutes ago.
I did pick it 5 minutes ago, folks. And you know what? I don't remember what it was. I never wrote it down.
Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
I'm going to say
Roll
I picked
block
the
is drum
Chargers.
roll.
I'm going to say I picked the Chargers because I think I picked the Chargers. But this one really is going to be a toss-up. That's how close it's going to be. See, I don't even remember. Did I pick the Chargers? I don't remember.
Well, I picked the Chargers, so we'll go with that. So I agree with everything you just said. This is interesting. I think I do believe I agree with what Brady said. This is one of the strongest divisions in football. You got the Chiefs, you got the Broncos coming up strong, and I think just right behind these two teams are these two teams. They're Vegas, not Oakland. Vegas has been rebuilding since Al Davis died, and they've been getting slightly better and slightly better and slightly better despite controversy in the front office and different things like that. Chargers been a little here and there with moving from San Diego to LA, but they're trying. They made it pretty far playoffs last year, but I think it's just a flip of the coin, and I think I went with home field advantage, even though that doesn't exist yet. So, but yeah, I'm going with the Chargers.
Clean sweep here, fellas. I'm going to take the Chargers on this one as well. I think they're the more well-rounded team. Plenty of weapons on offense, plenty of pieces on defense. I think what the Raiders are lacking here is a run game to offset that pass game that they're going to have with Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and things like that. I mean, they declined the option on Josh Jacobs this year, and they cut Kenyon Drake. So they're going with a younger run game. So I'm just going to use my hands now to see how long you guys mimic me. But
Right.
So the Raiders are going with a younger run game this year, so we don't know how those pieces are going to fit. The Raiders did cut one of their first round offensive linemen this year as well, so who knows how their line's going to be this year. I feel like the Chargers were the safer pick. I think Herbert's going to be in the MVP race this year, but I have the Chargers in this one by a score.
All right. Now we do have a fourth member who's unable to be with us tonight, but we do have her game of the week. Jessica's game of the week is, of course, the Baltimore Ravens against the New York Jets, probably because she knows so much about Baltimore that she picked this one as her game of the week. Of course, not disparaging Jessica. She's pretty knowledgeable about most of the football games. But in this game, I think this one, once again, comes down to the fact of whether or not the Jets starting quarterback is in. He might be back. Actually, they're saying that he could suit up for week 1. Unfortunately, I still think for them, their biggest hurdle is going to be that Baltimore defense. And of course, stopping the run game for Baltimore. I think Baltimore's got this one in the bag. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns.
I can agree with that. I mean, Lamar has showed us in the previous seasons, he works on what he wasn't good at the previous season. So hopefully he keeps up that trend and keeps moving forward. The Jets have borderline been a laughing stock for how many years? We just expect them to kind of just be at the bottom of the barrel, not do much. So they've kind of surprised us in random games. I think this is going to be a similar game, kind of how Denver and Seattle is going to be. I think it's just going to be a blowout. Baltimore's just going to come up, take dominance, and just show what they got. So
I did pick Baltimore in this game, but I don't think it's going to be quite such a blowout. Baltimore definitely upgraded their pieces on defense this year, but they are still going to be waiting a few weeks for their starting running backs to come back. So they're kind of piecemealing some running backs together like we did at the beginning of the last season, but it kind of worked out. Lamar Jackson is coming into a contract year, so we know he's going to be doing everything in his power to make sure that we are winning these games. And I'm saying we, like I actually play on the team. I understand that. I'm a fan. Forgive me. But the Jets under Robert Saleh have actually been playing pretty good football. I think if the Jets are smart, no matter whether Wilson plays or not, I think they don't try too much. And I think they let Joe Flacco run the offense in this one, because I think if you put Zach Wilson, first game back, off of a almost pretty serious knee injury against a pretty vaunted defense, the first week of the season at home, it's not going to be a good thing for him. So I think they sit Zach Wilson this week. They start Joe Flacco. They let the veteran take the reins. They let the veteran take the loss for this one, because I do have Baltimore winning by a score. But I think the Jets are going to surprise a lot of people this year. I don't think they're going to the playoffs like somebody did last year, but I think their record is going to be at least 1 or 2 wins better than last year.
Yeah, all wins are always by a score, at least. There has to be a score in order to win.
1-score game.
Oh, and you may have a point with sitting them out with a knee injury. Baltimore is kind of known for like hitting that weak spot.
And with the new defensive coordinator too, no one knows how this young guy from Michigan is going to call the defense. So
that's true. All right, guys, let's get on to our quick hitters. Let's take a look at what everybody picked this year for this week. We have a few sweeps. The Ravens, of course, the 49ers. You have, of course, the Colts, the Titans, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. But for the most part, there's a lot of division, a lot of one person picking a team as opposed to the rest of us. So could be a huge disparity between where first and last is after week 1 with us.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's right, Rick and Bob.
I will say, I think the most surprising quick hitter here is that Sam picked Atlanta over New Orleans with that absolutely nobody roster they're trotting out there this year.
I did. I feel like that's my big upset. I just feel like it's going to happen.
Oh, and just for the viewers, Sam did pick Las Vegas, so he lied to all of you.
I was just looking for that.
Make sure you let him know that in the comments that he's a big liar.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't remember.
You said that before. I'm like, which one did he pick?
Mind you, folks, I put this whole thing together just before we came on air. I haven't had to do any picks.
Because perfection is a work in progress.
Absolutely. As you can tell by my spacing on these picks.
We're still learning how to measure here, folks.
Yeah. But that's it for this week, folks.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and joining us on a new season of Pardon Our Picks. Make sure you leave a like, comment, let us know who you're going to pick. If you think we're dumb, think we're smart, let us know anything you want to go. subscribe.
Let us know what you think about the new format.
Exactly, because we're changing it up. We're going to try and keep things going. So going to be a little bit shorter videos, but hopefully a little bit more engaging with conversation stuff. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'm Tarik.
I'm Brady.
And I'm Sam. And you have a great football week.
Bye-bye.